Would you like to double or even triple your commissioned income without cold calling, door knocking, or even asking for business? Well, sit back and watch this short movie and you'll walk away with some pretty exciting information. My name is Tamara Dorris, and I work with seasoned real estate professionals who are open-minded, have hearts of service, and who want to make the rest of their lives the best of their lives. I've been researching, writing books, and teaching real estate agents how to manifest better businesses for years now. And we're going to talk about the truth of manifesting more commissions. First, though, let's look at some of the reasons real estate agents can get so stressed out. Number one, it's a feast or famine industry. You have bills, budgets, and hope to retire at some point, but where's the consistency when marketing conditions can change like the wind? Number two, sellers can expect you to cut your commissions, and buyers can run you ragged. Number three, even other agents who operate more from money and ego, they may not be the easiest to work with. I get it, I really do. With nearly 3 decades under my belt and being a real estate professor for 2 decades, a team leader, a top producer, a mentor, and a coach, I see this all the time. But it doesn't have to be that way. And more than that, what if I told you it was more your perception than the market? Now, before you scroll off of here, think I'm blaming you. I'm not. It's a crazy time. But success in real estate is more about your mind and imagination than you might believe. When I tell you there's nothing new under the real estate sun besides technology, and technology isn't going to replace heart-centered agents anytime soon, you can trust that most real estate coaches are relying on accountability calls and telling you to contact past clients and do pop buys. Not me, though. I don't think you need to learn anything new about prospecting when you follow my marketing process. We work on helping you attract clients rather than chase them. But that's not what this is about. In this video, we're going to see how and why you need to upgrade your inner game in order to win at your outer game. Ultimately, what you really need to do if you want to build a more abundant business where you close multiple transactions every month is to up-level your energy. Now, it may sound woo-woo when I say to get in alignment with the business and life you want, but bear with me and it will make perfect sense. Let's look at my broker client, Vicky. Very experienced in real estate, but her business was not consistent. From a time where she had 0 transactions for months to now consistently closing 4 to 6 escrows a month. Not bad, right? It wasn't me who fixed her, though. She wasn't broken. It was her energy that changed. And you know what? It's not just about money that changes either. Another agent messaged me last week that not only has she made more money than ever before and was attracting a higher quality of client, but even that she and her husband were getting along better too. She says it's time for a second honeymoon. I love that. So you may ask yourself, what does a real estate coach have to do with that? But I'm here to tell you, when you learn to operate at the alpha brainwave level, your whole business and your life changes. Manifestation coaches, they're all over the place now. Just jump online. Most of them are doing what I call the law of attraction lightweight. You see a 20-year-old on TikTok. That person isn't likely neuroscience trained, trauma informed, or educated in quantum physics. But I promise the 3 facts I'll be sharing with you in just a few moments are the absolute truth. I've been teaching this material for years with clients, in classes, online, and in all my books, many of my books. I've even coached brokers, lenders, and other real estate coaches. To say their names would be not cool, so I won't say their names, but I bet you've heard of a couple of them. So let's look at a couple of my clients. First is Cindy. Cindy wrote an amazing foreword. I have pictured part of it here for agents. It's a new book I have coming out called Abundant Agent. And Cindy is an amazing agent. If you notice her stats here, and we started working 2015, but if you look at her stats, she is in the top 0.5%, that's 0.5 of the entire nation. And I don't know if you know how many real estate agents we have, how many realtors we have in the United States, but it's a lot, 2 million maybe. So to be in the 0.5%, that's amazing. Cindy also in 2022 was named Florida Realtor Association of the Year out of 248,000 agents. So Cindy knows what she's talking about. She's a go-getter. And I'll tell you, if you have the client that you would like to send to Cindy, She would love your referral. She's in Florida. I forget the name of the exact city, but it's near St. Petersburg, right near the ocean. Anyone in Florida that you want to send to Cindy. Cindy will take good care of them. Another favorite client of mine is Pam. Now, Pam is with me for many years, and she tends to be always in the top 10 of her office. And I know she was top 100 or 200 of all the thousands of agents in her town. Just recently, though, her and her son joined forces, and boy, are they going to knock it out of the park. It's going to be epic. They will take good care of your Memphis, Tennessee referrals. So send those referrals that way, okay? I'm saying this because I want to help my agents with even more referrals, grow even more. So excitement is an attractive energy. Let me give you an example. If I were to take two agents from the same office, the same experience and the same skill, and even the same level of likability, and I sent one agent on one side of the street and the other agent on the other side of the street, why is it that one agent might come back with a lead, a few new friends, and the other one says, oh, no one was home, or I got a door shut in my face? It's invisible, it's brainwaves, and it's energy. And here's the thing about it. You can't hide it. People sense it even over the phone. And it follows you everywhere. So how do you know if your energy is in perfect alignment most of the time? Here's the answer. You attract clients easily and effortlessly. You have a well-balanced, abundant life. If your life is just work, 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 that's not a well-balanced life, right? You partake in self-care and self-love. And you know what? You don't even see real estate as work because you love it so much. Do you see the difference in this versus living commission to commission, fighting with your spouse, maybe drinking too much wine, worrying about the future, always afraid a deal's going to go south? This industry of ours is based on a rather archaic masculine model that is based largely on bro marketing, or what I call caveman marketing, and salesy sales. Even the referral-based models want you to call and bug your past clients. I know you're never too busy for their referral, but maybe they're too busy for your reminders. Do you see how fighting, begging, chasing down business breeds competition and is a low vibration that results in suspicious consumers, your stress, burnout, maybe bankruptcy, or even bad health? But when we start to go from selling to serving, from taking to giving, do you feel the difference in that energy? More flow, more ease, less go, go, go. That kind of real estate business can make all the difference in your life. I don't know about you, but I'd rather attract my ideal clients than chase them down. And I'd rather manifest abundance by being in alignment than by hanging 400 door hangers and calling everyone I know. So in this movie, I'm going to share with you the 3 things that can totally shift your business if you really take them to heart. But before I do, I want to share what I promised, and that's the truth about manifestation. You are manifesting all of the time. This is so important and so true if you want to change anything in your life. You are and will always attract things that are an energetic match to who you are being. Again, I'm not doing the law of attraction lightweight version for you here. Paste some pics on a poster board or rattle off 100 affirmations. We are talking about the actual factual science of intention. So while I have spent at least the last 15 years in serious study, experimentation, and application with clients and myself, the science doesn't lie. But here's what you need to know. Science is only verifying what ancient scriptures and secret societies have always known. And there are still things that science can't explain yet. But we can't let that limit us, right? Even if science has stopped right here, we've got to look at those past sources and resources and take it from there. Because who wants to wait until science catches up, right? We can go with what we know scientifically, but there's so much that science hasn't proven yet. But I'm not waiting around, are you? We consciously co-create our lives through our imagination and emotion. So whether you want to call it the quantum field or God or universal mind, it's this loving, malleable energy, and it speaks in the language of images and emotions, and it's working all the time. Are you ready for these 3 things that I believe every agent needs to know to co-create the most passionate, prosperous practice of all? Here we go. Number 1, working harder will not make you more money. In fact, It's the constant imaginary battle that has most agents so stressed out. In quantum physics and neuroscience, we understand that force is not truly the most effective way to create power. In fact, it's the polar opposite of it. Think about it. When you are worried about money or losing a deal or anything else, you turn to action. You print more postcards. You call more people. But since all of that is coming from a lack mentality, the energy of your action will always end up creating more lack in your life. I can't take the time here to explain how letting go and trusting can actually earn you more business, but I will say this: everything has to do with the fun factor. The more fun you have, the more your brain relaxes, the more your stress hormones relax, and your brain waves reduce, and your ability to imagine and focus on what you want instead of what you don't want, and the more business will come to you, even from the most unexpected places. Now, here's a picture of my client, Michelle. I love this picture of her. She was on her way recently to see Pink in person. How exciting is that? Michelle went from inconsistent to even 0 months to manifesting multiple transactions most months now. And one of the main things she does, which is why I wanted to include her here, is has more fun. If she needs business, go on vacation, go away for the weekend, right? Now, of course, there's a lot more to it. She's an amazing agent and she does all of the work that I give her. But never underestimate the negative impact that stress and scarcity can have on your business. It's literally impossible to be an abundant agent if you live in lack mentality and scarcity. And by the way, speaking of Michelle, fantastic agent in Placer County, that's near Sacramento, in Rockland, Roseville area. She's amazing. So if you have any referrals, send them her way and she'll take good care of your people. But listen, the bottom line is we live in an energetic universe where everything vibrates and attracts to it similar vibrations. I know you've been hearing this on the web and maybe, when you do internet searches and read books, but I want you to understand this is science. This is statistically proven science. This is not new age. I don't teach woo-woo, okay? So that means if you're in stress, you cannot attract peace because your brain waves in stress are high beta, and peace and prosperity come through the alpha and the theta brainwave. So important. If you're in scarcity, you will not attract financial abundance. This is why the first step to calm down your stress and your busy business and your worry is to focus on things that you want, not on the things that you're worried about happening. That's using your imagination in reverse order. Okay, number 2, your business is a mirror. This isn't always fun to consider, but the sooner you do, the sooner you can make the shifts to create a multiple transaction business every month. What we have to remember is that everything starts from the inside and then shows up on the outside. Everything you can think of started as a thought, and that includes your business. But what we do is we look at what we've already created, react to it, and then by reacting negatively to it, we turn around and create it all over again. Do you get this? This is why we can feel so helpless against circumstances, and most of us would rather die than consider maybe it's our own brain and unconscious expectations causing them. And then we say, oh, I knew that was going to happen. Well, of course you did. You created it. That's what we all do. Let me give you an example. This is an analogy. Let's say you're looking in a mirror and you decide you like bangs. So you pick up a Marquee, a black Sharpie pen, and you draw bangs on the reflection of yourself in the mirror. Do you have bangs now? Of course not, because the mirror is only a reflection of you. Likewise, your business is only a reflection of your thinking. It is also a reflection. Your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. We spend most of our time reacting to the very circumstances that we ourselves help to create, and by doing so, like I said, we create them all over again. It's insanity. Let's apply this to your bank account. Let's say you look at the screen on your device and you see a negative balance. You react to that negative balance with all the stress and worry that you always have, and when you do that, you're almost guaranteeing that you're going to see the same image next month. Does that make sense? I know an agent who's read my books, gone to my free classes, watched a lot of my videos, but just never has felt like she can afford coaching. And this is more than one, by the way, both women and men. But anyway, in this particular one, her comments are, I know you're right. I know this works. But whenever I try to follow your books or your classes, something bad happens. I don't get what I want, and I just can't afford your hiring coaching. And I have a hard time pointing out, but that is the problem. We have to change what we see in our minds before it happens in our physical world. And this isn't about paying for coaching. This is about people who insist on saying, this isn't going to work, so I'm not going to step outside of this little box I have myself in. And when we do that, we limit ourselves so greatly, and then we blame it on outside circumstances. circumstances. So the minute that you tell me, I'm not seeing the changes I want, it means you shifted your focus away from the changes we're trying to create. It's as basic as that, much more complicated, but that is the basic version. And the good news is you don't have to do any of the heavy lifting. I've done all the research. I've created the programs. I've created the audios. I've done the sound engineering. You don't have to do anything that's hard or complicated. You can learn as much or as little as you want if you do the practices that I teach you. Inside your brain is a little bundle of nerves called your reticular activator system. We call it the RAS for short. And the RAS's job is actually to stand guard. What does it stand guard for? Between your outside world and your senses. And I want you to think about this, because really, if there was no kind of barrier, the billions, I'm talking billions of bits of information that come to you every second, if they went through all of your senses at one time, you would literally be insane. I mean, clinically insane. So part of why we keep seeing the same things over and over again is because that's what your brain is programmed to think, to believe, to vet out, to find. So that's the old thing, if you see someone who's pregnant, if you're pregnant, then you just see pregnant people all over. If you get a new white Ford Escape, that's all you're going to see all over the place is a white Ford. So that's your reticular activator system, and what it's telling you, oh, this is something that's important to you, so I'm going to keep showing it to you. But if you have in your mind, I can't sell more than 2 houses a month. Sometimes I can't sell 1. I certainly can't sell 5. That's what you're thinking about. And so your reticular activator system is going to say, oh, okay, well, I better not show you this opportunity because then you would break your limit of no sales this month. And I better not give you this opportunity because you'd make a lot of money. So your reticular activator system has so much to do with your success. We just don't understand that in our industry, right? We just don't include the neuroscience to the level that can make all the difference in your business. So, are we ready for number 3? You need to reprogram your subconscious mind. So, let's unpack this. Think of your subconscious mind as a garden with all sorts of vegetables. You've got vegetables planted in there, but now we see that there's weeds taking over, maybe even insects. So you need to go in and you need to pull the weeds out so you can make sure you get a good harvest. The problem is there's only one way in the garden, and it's blocked by tons of barbed wire. If you don't get through the barbed wire, the weeds, the insects will destroy your harvest. The barbed wire is your limiting beliefs, your overactive beta brainwaves, your often unconscious habitual thinking, as well as the millions of distractions you come across every day that keep you from doing the work you need to do to keep your garden prosperous. The good news is no hose or garden gloves are necessary. We program our subconscious minds by feeding them messages both consciously and in the alpha theta state. And that just means you're relaxed and not distracted. We use neuroscience, sound technology, and specific programming tactics, the same that has been used by the CIA, by pro athletes, Olympic medalists. Now, it's important to remind you of step 1 being in a more relaxed mind, because honestly, even with the most powerful, potent hypnotherapy session, and I have been a hypnotherapist for 22 years, the most powerful session on the planet cannot access your subconscious mind if it's not in a relaxed state. Stress is a manifestation killer. Don't multitask as well as you think you do. A busy brain is not a creative brain. In fact, when your brain is busy, you are so much less creative. And I cannot tell you how many deals have gotten lost because of over-stressed out agents, buyers, and sellers. So you need to be the one that has the relaxed alpha brain in the face of stress so that you can creatively, quickly, effectively solve problems as they come up, as they tend to do in our business. And remember those secret societies I mentioned? You know what they really taught? And I'm not a Freemason, but I have researched this like you would not believe. I have read dozens and dozens of books that were very hard to get a hold of, in fact, going back hundreds of years. And one of the things I can tell you for sure is they teach conscious creation through focused feelings, imagination, and brainwaves. So all of this stuff, from ancient scripture to secret societies to top athletes, we're bringing it into real estate and introducing it to real estate in a way that will help you manifest multiple transactions each month. Listen, you get to decide how you want to program your brain through neuroscience. We can use tools and technology to program our subconscious minds in positive ways, as well as retrain our reticular activating system so we can start looking for effortlessly and expecting good things. And when we do that, we'll find them. This changes your behavior, the images in your mind, and your emotion. So in other words, it changes your energy. I mentioned what I teach is based primarily on science, and it isn't a lightweight version of law of attraction. It's the real deal. I mean, we won't get so deep as to talk about jumping timelines, quantum leap, and changing any aspect of your life you want, but it can happen in an instant. But listen, if you have a belief that says it's not possible, and let's say we haven't reprogrammed that belief yet, and then immediately we start working together and you have crazy out of nowhere listing that it just was impossible, or something else happens, and if you have the beliefs that say it's not possible, you will literally sabotage yourself so that you can get back to your uncomfortable comfort zone. And I want to repeat that. It's kind of like the song Pink Floyd, Comfortably Numb. Many agents, many humans are living in uncomfortable comfort zones. But because we're not in pain, we're just uncomfortable, our minds tell us you will get in more discomfort if you step outside of this comfort zone. Does that make sense? It actually doesn't make sense, but I think you get what I mean. So one of the things that's very important for the people that I work with, and that's why I just don't do single sessions, because when good stuff starts happening, I need to make sure that you're getting all the support that you need, right? I need to make sure that you don't have this amazing month and then backtrack to sabotage yourself. And listen, you don't do it on purpose. You don't do it on purpose. It just happens. It's just the way the human brain was designed. So before I tell you how you can schedule a time to talk to me, should you want to, in either joining me for Intention Academy, which is my group program, high-end group program, and I also have my private program, which is very limited in how many spaces I have. But I want to tell you something first that I think can be really helpful for you, even if you don't choose to work with me. And that's about the 3 levels of consciousness. And I've learned this over the years from a combination who I've talked about in some of my books, Dr. David Hawkins, Peter Sage, but this really is important. And I think it's one of the most important things for any agent to understand, whether they embark on coaching or not. I want you to really think about which of these 3 categories you fit in. The first category are called the to-me. That's T-O-M-E. The to-me folks. When you live from a to-me level of consciousness, you are a victim. Everything is happening to you. It's never your fault. It's the ex-spouse, it's the market, it's the lender, it's the other agent. To-me agents will never get ahead until and unless they step up to the next level. If you live in a to-me mentality, a to-me consciousness, no amount of coaching in the world can help you. I'm just telling you right now that those are agents and humans who come from a disempowered point of view. Now, can these people become the next level, which is the by me? And I'll tell you about that in a minute. Absolutely. But they have to put effort into it. And they have to start by taking radical responsibility for everything that's going on in their lives. And that would go back to go over these 3 things, especially the mirror theory, especially recognizing that they've caused somehow or contributed to everything in their life. And people don't want to hear that. Quite frankly, people don't want to hear that. It's easier to blame the government or the media or whatever. Okay, so those are the to-me people. If that's you, I want you to re-listen to this movie, rewatch it about the part of the mirror, and just see if you can stretch a little bit. The next one of the 3 is my favorite. And these are the buy me agents. Now, buy me agents are the ones that are working their brains out. They're feeling like nothing will happen unless they make it happen. And they're working hard. They're working so many hours more than I would like to see them. But what I love about these agents is they take action. My goal is to get a hold of them before they burn themselves out. Buy me people are convinced they have to make things happen. But as we know from quantum physics, very little power in that. And it can make you old fast. Much easier to work energy to matter. And that's what working with me is all about. So my buy me agents are like, oh, wow, I can just have fun and this is easy, right? So it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And last but not least, we have what I call the through me agent. Now, the through me agents are what I strive to create. And these are the people who know that life doesn't happen to them or just by them, but through them and for them. Through them and for them. It's quite a leap to go from victim mode to recognizing that a failed deal could have actually been a blessing in disguise. But trust me, me, that is exactly how you'll feel once you've graduated to the through me level. I know it's hard to imagine right now, but all the circumstances in our lives are actually neutral. Think about that. Everything that's happened to you that you may think is bad, neutral. It's the meaning that we give the situations and circumstances that predict how the next event or the resolution will unfold and determines our fate. But we are the ones that are in charge of our reactions. We can choose to react or to respond. My agents who I work with learn to respond productively and effectively and creatively, and thereby they don't have the gap in needing to get their emotions back in alignment and wait another 2 months to attract another client, because part of what we do here is we bounce back really quickly. It's not that all agents don't have bad experiences. It's just that when you're working intentionally and when you're working with neuroscience, you understand that the more focus and attention you give to something that happened that's negative, the more you're going to manifest more of it. So we bounce back fast. Okay. So if you want to get clear on your grandest vision of your business and your life, eliminate self-doubt and fear and living in a scarcity mindset, attract more ideal clients, and employ my magnetic marketing process, raise your energy so you can create a life you love, then there's a button somewhere below and you can click it and you can book a call. But listen, whether you're ready to make a quantum leap in your business right now or not, I want to leave you with one thought. You are not in the real estate business. You are in the trust and belief business. Think about that for a minute. When you trust in the science, practice the programs I teach you, your prospects will trust and believe in you almost automatically. And that's what the biggest battle is, right? Finding clients. Let's let them find you. You be the lighthouse where they're attracted to you. Not the peddler, not the salesman, not the chasing them. You just be the lighthouse and they will find you. This is about becoming the best version of yourself, being clear on what you want and bringing it to you with more ease and flow. So if you want to manifest multiple transactions each month, let's talk. Thank you for watching and have an amazing day.